my little fuzzy bat butts, and welcome to another Tuesday Q&A video. These videos are sponsored by Vampire Freaks, so please be sure to follow my links down below and connect with me on Vampire Freaks. If you would like to suggest future Q&A videos, please send me a private message via Vampire Freaks and let me know what you would like to see me talk about or what video topic you would like me to tackle. I've had lots of younger viewers contacting me recently telling me that they really want to dress in gothic clothing and they really want to start just wearing articles of clothing that represent the goth community. But the only thing that is holding them back is a lack of income. Well, I'm here with some wonderful news that you don't need a shit ton of money to dress goth. In fact, the gothic subculture kind of came off the hills of punk music with the post-punk movement, so a lot of the DIY culture that is in punk style is also in the goth style, or the traditional gothic styles. There are a lot of really good gothic name brands out there and a lot of companies that make just super extravagant and beautiful clothing, but you do not need that clothing to be a part of the gothic subculture. Also, I've been there too, where I don't have a lot of money to spend on clothes or anything that is extra besides food and daily living supplies. And during that time frame, I did all of my shopping at thrift stores, and I would DIY everything I touched. There is no shame in shopping at a thrift store. I shop there all the time. I have zero shame about it. In fact, some of the coolest clothing I have purchased at a thrift store. So my favorite thing to do whenever I'm going to go to a thrift store is I have a folder on my computer where I save images of fashion that really inspires me, visual looks that I find very intriguing and that I would like to recreate in my own personal style. I will save these images in my folder, I will pull the images up and I will kind of dissect them, and I'll look at what this person is wearing on their top portion and what they're wearing on the bottom portion, what accessories they're wearing, what the material's made out of, what it looks like, how it lays on the body. I'll really just dissect these outfits. And once I've done that, I make a mental note inside my head of what to look for when I go to the thrift store. When I go to the thrift store, I try to find articles of clothing that are either the same texture, the same fit or sizing, and I'll even look for jewelry that I have seen in photos that I would like to recreate into my wardrobe. I'll go in there and I will prowl through all of those racks looking for anything I can use within my wardrobe. Right now I'm very into the new romantic style and I'm very into this Victorian type look, labyrinth style. So that is what I am drawn to in thrift stores. But every time I go in a thrift store, I see lots of mesh see-through material. I see lots of lace that's see-through. There's so much really cool stuff that you can use to make just amazing gothic outfits. And there's tons of old jewelry that looks really cool. Like some of these rosaries. Here's a rosary. This one I got from a thrift store. That was someone's. You can just find a plethora of things at thrift stores. DIY is going to be your best friend because not only is it creatively rewarding, it also opens Pandora's box for you to be able to do anything you want to your clothing. If you can't afford studs or things to customize your leather jacket with, you can just go to the thrift store and find old pyramid stud belts, pop the pyramid studs off the belt, and then use those studs to put on your leather jacket. That same thing goes for spikes. You can use that for fixing out belt buckles. You can take the leather from the belt or you can just take the buckle. You can really use all of the materials at thrift stores to use within DIY as well, especially if you don't have money for buying material. You can get maybe a mesh shirt, say it's too big, well you can just DIY it into whatever visually you were wanting to create, just DIY it into that. With fabric paint, you can really customize your outfits and give them this badass look that you want. Maybe there's a band shirt you want really bad. Instead of going out and buying the band shirt, maybe it's super expensive, you can just take some fabric paint and paint the design, get a stencil, make a stencil of that design, put the stencil on the shirt, and then just paint it on there. I'm also really inspired from the punk movement. I'm really inspired by Vivienne Westwood, some of her original clothing pieces, and I'm really interested and intrigued in recreating a lot of those looks, except in all black and more pertaining to the spooky side. On top of looking at photos that inspire you of things that people wear, you can also look at fashion designers that are heavily involved in the scene and what they're doing, and then you can see how you can recreate that into a style or recreate it into a way that would suit you and your personal interests. So the point of this video was just to give you some insight and some inspiration on the fact that while there are tons of amazing Gothic clothing designers and Gothic clothing brands out there, you do not by any means ever have to buy from those brands to be involved in the Gothic subculture. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. In the comments down below, please feel free to share stories on how you incorporate DIY into your wardrobe and what you think about the whole DIY culture. Also, if you have any tips or tricks with thrift store shopping, please feel free to leave those down below as well, so anyone that is intrigued in this topic can read the comments and find some information that they might be looking for. I look forward to talking to you again very, very, very soon. Mwah! Tschüss! Tschüssi!